Is our office
I would consider myself
dog
a nice
friendly?
Wouldn't you consider myself a nice guy?
Depends on the day.
So.
Is our office dog friendly? No, but Jamie brings her dog.
And if yes, how does that work out with your suits?
Nobody ever asks. Nobody's ever asked, like, can I bring my dog to work? Like, one day this dog just comes in here, and it's jumping on me, like it's like slobbering this water.
That's what they want to know.
It's like got this water all over its face, and then the dog comes trotting over me like, doo-doo-doo, and like puts his head in my lap, and I got shit all over me, and she's like, oh, Cooper, you bad dog. It's like, what the hell, man? I gotta go to an appointment. I smell like dog shit. This is Laricy Live, and I'm your host, Matt Laricy, giving you unfiltered access to the world of real estate. We cover market trends, news, and give you the honest answers that will keep you ahead of the real estate game. So today we are shooting the 100th episode of Ask Laricy podcast. Yeah, it's very exciting. Very exciting. We're going to superimpose balloons. We got balloons coming, streamers, digital streamers. So in lieu of that, we're going to be doing our third Ask Matt Anything questions with the two celebrity guests, Catherine Holbrook and Jamie Price, soon to be Daily.
That's still not right.
It's Holbrook.
Holbrook.
Hole?
Yes.
I'll never get that right.
Okay.
So the women are going to be asking the questions today, and I will be answering them. So why don't we start off with the first question that we have here for the good old 100 episode.
Right. So these came from Instagram. People asking on Instagram, what is the most awkward situation you've walked into during a showing?
I was with a 70-year-old something couple at 645 Kingsbury, and we walked in a unit, and I knocked. I always said, hello, hello. Nobody was in there. The second bedroom was locked or shut, so we opened up the second bedroom. The guys had those big Beats headphones on, and the computer was on, his pants were his ankles. So we all saw what happened. And the best part was the grandma said, this old woman, she goes, I've had 4 boys. Finish up what you're doing. We're going to go look in the kitchen. It was the most awkward experience I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wait, so did you go back into the room when he was done, or did you leave?
No, we saw that place.
Oh, you
did? They put an offer on the place. They didn't get it, but yeah.
How embarrassed was the tenant or the owner?
The guy went nuts. Like, I've never seen anybody yell like that in my life. I was like, we were screaming, and we were told to get the keys. I mean, I don't know.
That's
it was
great.
Weird. I mean,
yeah.
Imagine telling your friends that, like, if you were in his position, like,
I
hey,
think that would
somebody
be
just
terrible.
walked.
Oh my god.
That would be terrible. Like, how was your day? Well, let me tell you something.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the worst one we got.
Okay. That is good. What do you think is your best team strategy?
I think culture. I think having a good culture is best. I mean, that we know each other. I mean, how many teams, they talk about like they've met the people once or something like that. I mean, I think we all get along really well. I think that, obviously there's a lot of business stuff we'll do, but just like off the bat, I think it's making sure that your team gets along with each other and everybody knows each other.
So from Instagram as well, do you have any tips on lead generation for a new agent?
I mean, there's so much ways to get business. If I didn't have any business right now, I would be on like those Facebook groups for the neighborhood I sell in, next door, et cetera. And I'd be answering every single question. And over a year's period of doing that, like people would know just name recognition. And then when they see your name and other stuff, they would click it. I mean, that's what I used to do with Trulia, Zillow, and Realtor.com is I used to answer questions on their websites. And I slowly but surely made a name for myself online just because of that. And then when people would, a lot of times when you have a question, you just Google it, right? Like you literally just Google your question and see what comes up.
I do that every
day.
day.
Yeah, those answers would come up. So, yeah, that's the easiest way to stand for lead gen.
Cool.
That's how Brian and I go against arguments that we're having. We Google it or we call my old roommate Jackie and we ask her who we think is right.
Okay, you guys got some serious issues. I still don't know who Brian is.
Yes, you do. Okay, this one's from Instagram as well. What makes Laricy stand out as a team?
I mean, obviously we've made a name for ourselves over the last, 15, 16 plus years, but I also think it has a lot to do with our hard work ethic. I mean, I think a lot of people know us as like, fuck, these guys, like, it's just ridiculous.
Never stop working.
Yeah.
You never get a day off, Jamie.
Yeah.
Are you never not working, Jamie?
Jamie works Sunday. Doesn't work Sundays. So,
I work on
Yes, she
Sundays.
does.
So like, I mean, I think it's like the machine that just keeps going. And then it's like, it's Sunday, in the summer, people are tired, and there we go, requesting like 8:30 a.m. showing up in suits and ties. It's like just kind of like we're just kind of there. I think we become like a staple.
I think the suits and ties thing is a big standout as well.
Nobody wants to wear suits and ties. I don't get it. I don't know.
Do you have any nicknames?
When I was in college, they called me Steel, Steele.
Who? Who called you that?
It was like that was like a nickname. You can ask my guys.
And you're like, I think I want this nickname. I'm just gonna start calling myself.
No, I'm
that.
serious. And then here, look at this. Here's a great example. So I wish somebody happy birthday. What's that say?
Thanks, Steve. Okay, you're right.
That happened this morning. It was just my nickname in college. I was 18 to 22. It was like 18 years ago. What's that?
John Paul's nickname for you.
Peter Francis Laricy.
No, Laricy. He thinks his buddy Rory or somebody like that came up with it. It's so stupid. Okay, let's go. Let's move on here.
How is the Laricy team doing in terms of your annual goal?
I think our goal is 330, and we're crushing it right now. I mean,
And then we get to go to Vegas.
then we get to go to Vegas. I won't be there, but I'll pay for you guys to go to Vegas.
Okay.
But yeah, like
Yeah, right, great.
like I want to be there. Like this, like it'll be like the greatest night of your life, and then you wake up, you're like, we have another day of this. Like I'll just get on
Yeah.
the plane and go.
Like
Like,
2 days.
do you guys?
2 days.
It's like be like what I did in Dallas one time. Like I went out with my buddies to Dallas one time. We had like the greatest night ever, and then like I woke up, I was like, I have 2 more days sitting here.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody. I just got on a plane and went home. And people were like,
What was that for?
that was just a buddy's party.
What was it for? It wasn't
It was
a
not
bachelor party?
No, my
Okay.
buddy moved. Luke Farage, he doesn't watch these, but he moved to Dallas, and we just went and visited him. And I just
That's a known fact about
Yeah.
Matt. He's never been to
I've
a
never been to a bachelor party. I've only been to my own
party.
bachelor
I don't
party.
believe that
It's
shit.
true. What was even the question? Oh, our goal. So we're way ahead. I mean, we finished number 1 first quarter in all of Chicagoland for dollar sold transactions, buy side transactions, sell side transactions. All 4 ones that matter. So we're demolishing it.
Cool. I mean, I guess that kind of goes on the next question. It said, how many sales do you have pending now?
I don't even know. We have to update the board.
Yeah.
I think we have 100 and something pending.
There's a lot.
More than last year.
Yeah.
It's
We're
a lot
double.
a lot of work.
Here's one of the reasons why we're up is that I keep saying this is that only 25% of our listings sold in the downtown markets, and 50% of our business is the downtown markets. Like we have a huge, like our biggest competitors that like normally finish either with us or like right below us or right ahead of us, like the Lowe's, the Wongs, these people that are always like neck and neck with us, like all their business is single family homes. Well, like half of our business is like up there and the other half is down here. So last year 25% of our places sold. This year 75% of our places are selling. So of course our sales can pick up. Imagine once this market gets actually hot again, how good we're gonna do. Like it's gonna be stupid.
This correlates right back with it. Why do you think you sell the most transaction-wise in Chicago?
We work the hardest. Singles and doubles keep you in the game. That's why Derek Jeter's one of the best players in baseball. I always talk about it. Like agents, big agents make fun of me all the time. Like, oh, you're taking out a $200,000 buyer? Like, fuck, I don't care. We'll take out everybody. A $200,000 buyer, well then, they usually recommend you like 7 or 8 different buyers right away. I'll tell you, my $2 million buyers don't really recommend me that many people. I'm not saying we don't do a good job, but like $2 million buyers, their friends also know like 50 other agents. That's the problem, And like for us, it's like, I always say, like, if you're on the base, the more often you're on base, the better opportunity you have to score. Okay. So like, yeah, getting the home runs at $2, $4, $6 million sales is awesome. Yeah. You make a lot more money, but guess what? We're doing like maybe 15, 16 deals a week that are $200,000 to $300,000. Like, and like a lot of people are like, well, it's just a lot of legwork for not a big paycheck. Okay. Well, take like the average commission of like, $6,000 for a $200,000 sale and times that by 15 a week. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, that adds up pretty quick. And honestly, the $2 to $4 million sales, they're always like shaky. I feel like all the big sales we have are always everyone we've ever done is like shaky. Like at any moment through, like, I don't know, we just maybe we just won't buy it. And then if you're an agent who only does luxury, like, you're fucked, right? You lose if you only have one $4 million deal and that's the only deal you have pending, and you lose that's your shit. We lose $200,000 a deal. I mean, I get pissed, but I mean, like, it's not like our business is failing. Although I say
you
it
do
every
say
day.
that. That's exactly what you say.
You get pissed at every deal that you lose.
I don't like to lose. What was the question you used to ask? Do you like to win or lose?
Yeah.
Do you love to win or
hate to lose?
Hate to lose. Yeah, hate to lose. Yeah.
People want to know, is there a recession coming, and how would that impact the real estate market?
I think there's 100% recession coming. When it's going to come, I mean, who knows? It could be 6 months, 12 months, 36 months. I mean, nobody can predict that. I mean, I don't know enough about finance to tell you like put it in an exact time. I think it's coming. But when that happens, like we're talking about these big agents who only do high-end sales, they're fucked. They're like screwed because the rich hold during bad markets, okay? But guess what? 200,000 to 600,000 are buyers, super liquid. Like our business is going to skyrocket. Like the downtown markets will still do really good because what I think is going to happen during the recession. Remember, we got to keep this clip because I want to be able to show this when it happens. Is that the job market has been so hot recently, right? Like everybody's got a job, but I don't know. I mean, you're like in high school when the Great Recession hit, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like when we graduated college. Like, and I was only 2 years out, like, there would be like 50 people applying for like one job, okay? Right now, like, everybody can get a job. Everybody's making $400,000 a year. Everybody's spending all their money in NFTs and this bullshit. When it all of a sudden this recession hits, businesses are going to be like, oh my God, like, our economy's been propped up. We're going to let go of all the fat, so they're going to get rid of all the people they don't need. And then they're going to be competitive to get business again. And you know what they're going to do to be competitive? They're going to say, okay, I want my people back in the office because I'm sick and tired, paying somebody $200,000 a year to do this 3-day work week. And everybody's like, well, I'm going to have one of the states just did a 4-day work week. Okay.
California.
Yeah, we'll see how that works when the market gets bad. Okay. And then they're going to start saying, we're going to go back to the office. The recession's going to hit. And guess where it's going to start skyrocketing? Downtown markets, because people are going to be coming back to work. They're like, well, listen, rents are at an all-time high, and and typically during a recession, rents go up because less people buy, and then people are going to buy. So, and again, it's going to be probably 200,000 to 600,000 buyers. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to freaking crush it at the next recession. And when everybody else's business is down, we're going to be skyrocketing because I know when it comes, I'm altering our business model now to absolutely demolish it. And we're going to keep this for when it happens. I'm going to play this clip. And then I'm going to tell you all the time, I told you so.
I told you, yeah.
I told you so. I talked about it in my podcast. You can listen to it if
Yeah,
you want.
did you
It's the
listen to my
100th
podcast?
episode.
I'm just saying, it drives myself crazy because people tell me about this.
Okay. We going to see more red suits?
No, I mean, I do. I think I should have worn the red suit today. Today, this suit's got like pinup girls in it. It's kind of cool.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
This one's pretty sick. It's new. I don't know. No,
That's new?
Yeah.
That looks. Oh.
Looks like one of the other blue suits.
I mean,
have.
it's a different shade of blue. This is cobalt.
Okay.
I didn't have a cobalt one before. No, then I think one red suit's good enough.
Who makes your suits?
Daniel George. Shout out Daniel George. He's the best.
Will you open offices in other cities?
Where do you want me to open an office at? Jamie wants me to open an office in Nashville.
No, I don't. I want you to open an office in North Carolina or South Carolina.
Why in the Carolinas?
Because that's where I want to retire one day.
Charleston? No, definitely. I would love to open up an office in downtown Yountville. That's in Napa Valley, guys. That's definitely where I would like to have one if I did it. Think
I'll
about
work
that.
there part-time.
Think about that. Like you fly out there, you do like one sale. It's like an $18 million sale. Like there's not that many transactions out there.
Really?
Like you go out there, you do some wine tasting, sell a couple houses.
Is there like a lot of properties out there?
There is, but not like that many.
Right,
It's a small
yeah.
town.
Do you think realtors out there are like, all right, we'll see this house. We'll pop over to this winery, have a
Yeah.
little flight of wine,
that'd be
and we'll go to
fun.
this house.
Yeah.
So I talked to a couple agents out there, and like they legitimately like don't work. Like none of them like work. They'll be like, yeah, we're gonna work today, and then like I have 2 showings this week. Like there's
But it's like big sales.
yeah, there's I think I looked up. There's only like like maybe 100 transactions a month or something like that. Like it's crazy low.
I wonder if it's like investors out there, or if it's like
A lot of
people
second
just
homes or people who
second
live there,
homes,
yeah. Yeah, I mean I'd go there, or maybe someplace in Florida. I mean New York City wouldn't be bad to have.
Florida.
I don't know. These are things in the future.
Let's
Our goal right now, guys, is to take Chicago.
You want me to
One
read
thing
that
at a
one,
time.
Catherine?
Sure.
Okay, Catherine, what's your favorite and least favorite parts about working in real estate?
Favorite part, I think, I know this is corny, but probably helping people find places.
Oh.
I do. I enjoy
I said,
it.
yeah.
Least favorite part, I think. I don't know. I don't really like. There's nothing I really hate about it. I would say
I can
sometimes
tell you,
other
like-
like working with other agents and how people like talk to you. I guess, and especially I don't know as much anymore, but like being like a younger agent, I just think that it's not really ever the clients I think that are bad. I think it's sometimes other people in the business.
I agree
You're like
with
40
that.
years old. You're not younger in the business anymore.
37.
I mean, the passive aggressive tones in the business
Yes.
is like the absolute
I think the word. Yeah.
I can't stand these passive aggressive text messages.
Yeah. It's very annoying.
Being friendly goes a long way in my eyes.
That's true.
I mean, I'm friendly until you're unfriendly to me.
That is true. Is our office
I would consider
dog
myself a nice
friendly?
Wouldn't you consider myself a nice guy?
Depends on the day.
So.
Is our office dog friendly? No, but Jamie brings her dog.
And if yes, how does that work out with your suits?
Nobody ever asks. Nobody's ever asked, like, can I bring my dog to work? Like, one day this dog just comes in here and it's jumping on me, like it's like slobbering this water.
That's what they want to know.
It's like got this water all over its face, and then the dog comes trotting over me like, doo-doo-doo, and like puts his head in my lap, and I got shit all over me, and she's like, oh, Cooper, you bad dog. It's like, what the hell, man? I gotta go to an appointment. I smell like dog shit. So I got cloned at the office.
You're the only person that doesn't give him any love. That's why he comes by you.
Dogs
more
and
often.
babies just always come to, they're like attracted to me. I don't know what it is. It's not like I don't like dogs or kids. It's just like, I'm in a suit and like trying to be in business mode, and like this little thing's coming up to me.
This thing. Jeez. Okay.
Okay. What's your favorite binge-worthy TV show right now?
I mean, I don't know. I watch any stupid. I like to watch stupid shows during the week that like have mindless entertainment. Like I just watched Ultimatum, which was like atrocious, like a 1 out of 10. But yet I watched every episode.
But you walked in here and started talking about it,
I was just saying, like I was surprised what happened with Ray. But like shows like that. What's that one? Something Island.
Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, I like Too Hot to Handle. Like these. Here's why I like these shows. It's because like we have the shittiest day of all time, 7 days a week. And I get home and I want to put on something like a Maisel or something that's like fun to watch. But here's the thing, like you can't work and watch the show because you got to pay attention to the show. Okay. But like with like Ultimatum or Love Island or was it Temptation Island, one of these stupid shows. I got to talk, Callan's not here anymore, but I got to talk to Callan about it. But like one of these shows where you can work and completely not pay attention and you look up like, oh, that was pretty stupid that they said that. And then you go back to work. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
Great show to watch right now is The Anatomy of a Scandal.
Okay.
That's your next one to put on.
It sounds complicated.
How has the Laricy team grown over this past year?
I mean, we've added. So I anticipated that we would be up this year. It's all I talked about at the end of third quarter and fourth quarter, right? I was like, we're going to be up next year, so we have to prepare for next year, which is this year. And so what we did is we added another assistant. So we got a fourth assistant. Callan moved to Austin. We were thinking about replacing Callan, but we like Callan, so we kept Callan. And we kept on. We took on another assistant. So now what we did is we have one assistant that solely sets up buyer tours and follow-ups there, and then another assistant that just sets up listing appointments and like follow up with feedback because, we're doing 100 plus listings a month, and we're doing 100 plus buyers a month, so it's just easier to spread it out. Agents were the same, right? Don't we have the same number?
I think we have one more.
Do we have one more? Rachel? Yeah, we got Rachel.
Because
but we're losing Jody, and we're gaining somebody else. So Jody's moving to North Carolina. That's why Jamie wants to open up an office over there.
I do.
Jody's
want
going
Jody to stay there.
I mean, I would never. North Carolina is like if you had to give me 50 states out of all the states,
oh my God,
which state do I want to be in the least? North Carolina is definitely in the bottom 3 states out of all 50.
What about
worse than
Idaho? Nebraska,
Boise,
Seattle.
Idaho is one of the greatest growing markets in the city. That's probably top 5 markets I'd like to go to be honest with you. Boise is freaking booming.
What about Alaska?
Oh, dude, this place is sick. Like, imagine that. You like fly in there.
He's
like
just saying
New Mexico.
So, like, what about Santa Fe? Santa Fe is like one of the most growing markets right now. Everybody's moving out of Arizona
They
to
have
go
a
to
nice
Santa Fe.
river walk, I think. Yeah.
Like, okay, Oklahoma would be below North Carolina. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
Oklahoma.
Thank you.
Missouri.
Nebraska would also be down there. Missouri.
West Virginia.
West Virginia's like becoming the tech hub of the country.
Because it's close
they have
to
a good
DC.
song.
Yeah, they have the data centers now going there. Listen, I've looked at all this stuff all the time, okay? Like, you can't mess with me with states.
Okay.
Get me all worked up on
God,
cities.
Jesus.
Me and my brother argue over like cities all the time. Though.
You should get your brother on here and just have you guys argue at each other.
I mean, that would be terrible. We both sit on different
That would
sides.
that'd be a great podcast, actually.
Like Luke is just my brother. I have an older brother who's 40 who I don't think he's never paid attention to this, but yeah.
Is this still the year of the condo?
So like we said earlier, we sold 25% of our condo sales last year in the downtown markets. We're at 75% this year. I mean, that's a huge difference. We are moving condos now too. I mean, to give you an example, there was a place on Prairie that came up yesterday. It was the average market time for those were 165 days. And I had a client that was supposed to see it yesterday, and it sold first day on the market. and it was the highest sale in that. Oh, my client literally asked me this, and I had to look him in the face and look like a total asshole. And she sent me a message. She goes, "How long do you think this will be on the market?" I said, "Well, look at the average market time in the O1s." I'm like, "We got time to wait a day." And then the place sold. My client said, "I thought you said we have time to wait a day." And I'm like, "Well, I was wrong."
Yeah.
You know, but the reality is, like, you're the condo.
Yeah.
With last year, a place at 1.6 in Museum Park come on the market and sell first day on the market? Get the fuck out of here. Not a chance.
Yeah. But even just, I think listings have been sitting a while, 200 something days, and then all of a sudden there's multiple offers.
Yeah.
Look at Harbor. Look at some of our listings that we've had for years.
How long? 4 years?
4 years. We've had listings for years.
We've Harbor since I've worked here.
Yeah. We've had listings and we're selling them. Mm-hmm. And we're getting multiple showings on properties again.
Yeah.
God, I love being the year of the condo was being right.
Any funny stories about your kids recently?
I mean, just yesterday, I was looking for these papers that Nicole has to sign as I bent over. Roan headbutted me, like, back here, and, like, it kills. And then I had to put him in timeout. And then today, when he was leaving, I don't know how this kid remembers this. He was leaving. I put him in the car in the morning, and he goes, "Dad," I said, "What?" He goes, "I'm sorry to hit you yesterday. I hope your head feels better." And I felt, like, so terrible. I was like, man, and because I yelled at him for obviously headbutting me.
Yeah.
Guys, he thinks he's Hulk. That's a problem. My son is, like, obsessed, and he believes he's Hulk. He wears a Hulk shirt, and when he did it, he said Hulk smash because like, he thinks he's Hulk. I don't know if that's funny, but, like, the kid's, he's getting a personality, which I think is cool.
How long is timeout?
I put him usually in there for, like, a couple minutes, but he
like
screams so loud that I just can't take it anymore. So.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's like, is it like 30 minutes or like
no,
a minute? No, it's
the
like
kid's,
a minute or two.
My kid's 3. like a minute feels like a lifetime to the kid.
Got it.
So. We could also tell the funny story about how my kid put the golf club through the TV.
Oh, yes.
We have a new TV getting installed. My wife thought wanted to make Roan, my son, Tiger Woods, and he got this little, like, plastic golf club. And so, like, I was making him macaroni, and I would go into the den, and the TV's got, like, all these lines, and I go, "What happened, Roan?" And Roan goes, "Roan smash." So because he thinks he's Hulk, and I look, and the golf club, like, hit, like, right in the middle of the TV, and there's just, like, this gaping hole sitting there. So, like, I don't know if I call that funny because that's you got to buy a new TV, but yeah.
What did I text you after?
Oh, Jamie, Jamie goes, "You gonna watch the Masters this weekend?" I don't find it funny at all. Like there's a new TV getting installed today. I just hate wasting money. It's just I was so mad. I took that golf club. He thought I threw it over the balcony because he was looking outside. I goes, "Where'd my golf club go?"
I mean, I could see you doing that.
I was like, I went ballistic. Nicole's like, "You can't get that mad." I'm like,
So I guess we talked about expanding into other states, but would you ever expand into the suburbs?
I mean, I just hate the suburbs. I think that's the problem. Like, I just hate them. No offense. I just don't. Here's the problem I have with the suburbs, and you guys see this. Like, every now and then, we'll help, like, a really, really good client who, like, really wants us to help. Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example, like that one deal we have, and, like, you're negotiating with these people, and it's like I could honestly see why people hate realtors, because, like, I cannot stand realtors in the suburbs. Nobody knows what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They take this job 0% seriously. You can never.
They don't
go
to anything. They don't go to a showing. They don't go to inspection. They don't go to appraisal. Like, I don't understand what they do.
We made 3 offers with people, and, like, I must have called these agents, no joke, 100 times. Nobody ever answered. Okay, my clients ended up buying something else. The agents called me back, like, a week later, mm-hmm. like, "Hey, we're ready to accept your offer." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Who is this?" They're like, "It's like Jamie." Okay, like, "Who?" They're like, "You made an offer in Addison." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "When?" They're like, "Last week." I'm like, "You're just calling me back now?" Like, what the hell? Like,
I agree with that. I've been dealing with some suburb agents recently.
Yeah.
It's the worst of honestly, like, I can see why. I could literally see why people hate realtors. I could, if I sold out in the suburbs, I'd be canceled in 2 seconds. I would just lose my temper. There's no way I could control myself.
Cancel.
Okay, will you invest in crypto?
0% no. I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. No offense.
Are you currently hiring?
No, we're not hiring. We hire on a need to hire basis. Jody rolled off going to NC, do some personal issues, and we found somebody pretty quickly to take her place. But a lot of groups, I think it's important to know, just they hire, so they could say they have 50 agents. I think that's like a bragging piece, like, right? Like, oh, how many agents you? Like, people ask us all the time, how many agents you have? Like we're like, we have 9 agents. Yeah. Like, that's a small. We're a small team, guys. For the amount of business we do, we're a super small team. But like people like to tell. Is it a cool? Like, are
Well,
you
it's
as a
like-
girl? Are you impressed?
No.
Like if I walk up to you and I don't know you, I got 100 people working for me. Does that like make you think I'm better looking?
No,
I
but
feel like
it's
that's
funny
what people
because
think.
like some agents, when they get a new agent, it's like this big thing on social media.
Yeah.
Like we never do
We
that.
didn't put that on there. We're like, let's see if you last a month. We have a high burnout rate in this office. I mean, remember our last assistant?
It's quality
ran out of
over
here.
quantity.
Yeah, it was
We-
like a Saturday spring
Yeah.
market.
Yeah. Well, we hired this one assistant. She like literally grabbed her. All of a sudden, I see this thing out of the corner of my eye. The door flies open. She runs. There's like a sweater on the chair. She grabs the sweater and runs out. I'm like,
Never
what?
saw her again.
I'm like, hey, how you doing? And all of a sudden, just look down the street. She's just sprinting down the street. Never seen her again. That was no joke happened. That was assistant. Gretchen took that person's place. But I mean, like, man. I mean, we have a high burnout ratio here. I mean, it's a lot of work.
It's not easy job.
I mean, I'm easy to be around.
I was just gonna say, and then you have your personality. Just kidding.
Okay, what's your favorite Chicago restaurant right now?
I don't really eat out that much. Like, I mean, we get pizza. That's the problem is when you have kids,
Pizza.
like it's like harder to like go out to like a romantic dinner. We're trying to get back into it. Nicole's just not been feeling well recently, so we haven't been doing it. But we do. I like going to steakhouses mostly if I do go out.
What about that French restaurant you like?
Le Bouchon? I'm excited about this Obelie or whatever, however you say
I
this.
saw
coming
people
up.
in there
Is that
yesterday.
is that a French place?
Yeah, it's Le
It's
Bouchon's
a-
people.
Yeah,
You
same
know what?
owners.
I gotta tell you, I don't going out to eat that much, and that's not like a jerk. But I mean, like, I'm really good at cooking, and I feel like my cooking's better than a lot of other places. I do.
What time do you think you eat dinner at night?
So last night I made a slow roasted pork tenderloin with like mushrooms and onions, and I put it over like a little bit of like a scallion potato, and I served it with some wine, and I ate it at 9:45 at night. So yeah, but I mean,
Why'd you eat it
That's
so late?
too
though?
late.
because I got home from work. And,
Didn't you forget to put it in?
Oh, I did put it in the oven last night. I put it in at lunch. I was supposed to put it in like 6 a.m. But my point is that like the problem is you go out to dinner, it's like $400, and then like it's like good, but then like it makes them at home. Not that they're like super cheap, but it makes them at home. It's like $20, and it's
Yeah.
like way better.
Yep.
I just have to serve my own wine.
If you had to eat at any restaurant in the suburbs, where would you eat? Olive Garden.
No.
El Gallo?
You know, what's that place? Oh, El Gallo. Fuck, yeah. Or like a McDonald's. Like, I've been to McDonald's like 3 years. Like just a great McDonald's. No, what's that place called on the south side in Palos?
Francesca's?
No. That crappy steakhouse. There's a steakhouse in the south.
Benny's? Jack Gibbons?
No, it's in Palos. We'll have to look it up and then whatever. But anyways, there's a place that's I kind of like going
Craples.
to. Craples, yeah, because it's right by my in-laws' house. We could take the in-laws with my dad and stuff like that. We've only done it like once, but it was good. It was good.
Do you want to read that one, Catherine?
Yes, Jamie. What bad habits does Matt have at the office?
Yell talking,
What do you,
blasting music when somebody's on the
Club
phone,
music?
I do listen. It's EDM. It's different. I don't yell talk.
eating your snacks.
I don't eat snacks.
You eat her snacks.
You eat my snacks.
Sometimes I'm like, okay, like I don't eat all day long, and she's like comes in and she's like, I got fresh goldfish. I'm like, yeah, I'll take a couple handfuls, you know.
And that's probably the worst ones that really
Pacing?
actually annoy me. Oh, when we're trying to have a conversation about something that's important and you get off topic.
Yeah, that
And
happens a lot.
then it's like, okay, well, let's focus on what we need to focus on.
Yeah, that happens often. I get distracted easily.
She'll be trying to talk to you about like an appraisal that came in low, and you're like, "But look at this winery."
Like, what happened with Ray on the ultimatum?
And then he calls me at 6:30 or 7 o'clock when I had just left the office, and he's like, well, okay, what was that about now? I'm like, no. We're not having this conversation right now.
Moving on.
What is your biggest pet peeve about new agents?
Well, I mean, this fake it till you make it thing drives me nuts. You know, people act like they're like all of a sudden like we've had a few big deals recently. Even I won't name drop, but like they just take it to the point where like they don't have to take it, and then they like talk down to you as if they know what they're doing and we don't, even though they're like completely clueless. And then that gets under my skin really, really, really badly. And then I have to put them in their place. And then like I look like the jerk. But it's like, well, when we're talking about like past affairs, it's like, well, look at everything you just said to me. Okay, and I didn't respond back at all. I didn't say anything rude. I was super nice. And then it's like the fourth stab into my back. It's like then I blow up. And then people are like, wow, you're such an asshole. It's like, well, am I an asshole? You just like told me I'm a piece of shit 4 times in a row and I didn't say a word. And the 5th time you said it, I blew up on you. That's my problem with new agents.
I also think that our clients remember agents' names.
Yeah.
And when they have a bad experience with you, they remember your name. And then say your friend works with that person, and then they're like, wow, he was terrible. I would never use him. And they kind of trash talk you.
I mean, I can't tell you how many agents like text us like, wow, the deal was drama free. I mean, out of all the deals we have a month, like we only have a few that are usually like tricky, and it's usually because it's a newer agent or a suburb agent. Yeah. Like that's it. Like we just had that one on, I don't know, Alcal, the duplex down with the tenants that bought, and like they were like, wow, this was like the easiest deal I've ever done. I'm like, yeah, because like we don't like make drama. They make drama. Like that's the problem that other new agents do is they just make drama. Yeah. They want to put on like their Superman cape and like prove their value by just being a dick. And then it's like, dude, you're just making this more difficult for everybody. Like this isn't like I hate to say it, but if you got a good system in place, like closing a deal is like pretty easy. You just there's steps. It's like you're going in a checkout line. You just go to certain checkouts and you do stuff. Yeah, that's it. And you just go down the list. But these new agents, they don't have checklists. They get stressed out. They're in Italy, and then they're blaming you because they're busy or they're on a different time schedule. So we have to do stuff then, and it throws stuff off. Drives me nuts.
What's the interview and hiring process like at Laricy?
Difficult. Very difficult. We try to do it on purpose because we don't want to sit here and hire the wrong person and then they run out of here on a Saturday when we need them for scheduling. But, I mean, most of the time you have to meet everybody else because the culture part is really big.
Let's see.
Oh, we kind of already answered that one question.
Are there any major changes coming to Laricy soon?
No.
Okay.
No, we just gotta keep going. That's it.
What are your favorite office snacks?
I don't eat snacks. I don't like eating snacks. I mean, I should bring in goldfish. I'll have some goldfish every now and then.
You also really like Trader Joe's white cheddar popcorn.
Okay, that was one time. So
now I take a picture of Matt eating snacks, and we'll do like a montage where he says he doesn't eat snacks, and then we'll show him eating all the snacks.
Oh, you also always leave the bag open. That really drives
and then
me
they
crazy.
get stale.
What's our next question?
How has the podcast changed from the beginning until now?
I think we were trying to find a footing when we first started of like having different people on it. But I think we were also trying to reach and figure out what topics we could talk about.
No, I'm just
rather than now we try to do relevant topics that people could get value out of, you know?
Would you ever move to France?
I wouldn't move there full time. I mean, I don't really agree with their political aspects, but I would I would go there for longer periods of time. How
is Jamie's wedding planning going, and is Jamie allowed to go on a honeymoon?
First off, let's this wedding planning. When Jamie was first getting married, God, I wish Jessica was here. Where is Jessica?
She's going to be late today. She's got a piece of furniture getting delivered.
Nobody told me about this.
She texted
Nobody told me about this.
We started the podcast right away.
So the when Jamie first announced this whole wedding thing, I remember Brian asking. Well, Brian kind of asked me.
No, he didn't. He asked you to make sure I dressed nice, and you didn't even do that.
He kind of asked me what my thoughts were, so I kind of took it as if like he was asking my permission. But I will say that like Jamie first did this, she was like, I'm gonna have a wedding for around like $30,000 to $35,000, and I was like, there's literally -% chance it would happen. And I said you have to add up everything: tablecloths, dress shirts, men's shoes. It all adds up. And I said, you were going to blow that budget out of the water. And she's like, I'm not one of these people. It's blah, blah, blah. And I don't even know where you're at today, but I will tell you it's probably triple what I paid for my wedding. And the wedding.
No, it's not.
I'm going to tell you guys right now. It's going to make me sound like a total jerk. And I get everybody's going to be like, you're an ass, blah, blah. Planning a wedding is ridiculously easy. Okay? You get a checklist. You put down on a spreadsheet what you need to do, and you just knock it out, make an agreement, and done. I planned our wedding within 2 days, 48 hours. That quickly.
Yeah, but you're not the girl. Okay, maybe for like a guy, but for a girl, you have to do dress and try on a bunch of dresses.
Okay.
Hair, you have to do like trial.
I booked their hair appointment across the way. I walked in there. I said, listen, I want them. There's 3 people. They're going to do hair, makeup, etc., whatever they need. I was like, Nicole knew they liked them.
Yeah.
No, she knew they were good.
Well,
okay.
You don't, I mean,
and then they're like, it's this price. I'm like, we're not going to pay this price. We're going to pay this price. Boom, checked it off the list.
It's also decor, flowers, DJ, photographer.
Got the DJ in 2 seconds. Here's what I did.
Getting a list of pictures that you want for your photographer. Getting your list of songs.
Easy. You go
wedding
on
rehearsal,
Spotify.
hotels,
You go
how
on
many
Yelp.
people you're inviting, invitations.
Seating arrangements.
Well, we didn't do a sit down rate. Wedding,
Okay,
that's the
so
best
that,
part
yeah,
of this.
exactly.
Yeah.
So what? I don't even want to get into this.
I'm just saying, like, it's
before we get in
it's
an
so
argument
easy.
about the wedding.
I'm just telling you guys. I'm telling you. You get the list of what you need to do. You cross-reference enough references in Yelp, and then you just book it.
I'm sitting you in the back of my wedding.
It's
all the way in the back.
The problem is, it's like white paint. Everybody's arguing over which color white to get. Nobody's ever gonna know the difference between which white you get. Just get it done. Do we do beige or yellow plates? Like, just fucking, who cares?
I do have that figured out.
Nobody
already.
remembers what color palette you had at your wedding, okay? 10 years from now.
I
you're
do.
not gonna
I
do it.
remember like nice
I
flowers.
remember
but-
too.
Of flowers, okay? And flowers.
I
like
also
50
remember the food. I
Yeah, of
remember.
course. Yeah, you need food and alcohol. Nothing else matters.
I also remember
Triple up
people's
in alcohol.
speeches.
Yeah.
I think speeches.
I-
is
Limit
Yeah.
speeches. I gave my brother a 60-second speech. His speech was amazing. That's it. One person talking.
Laricy's next job is going to be wedding planner.
I would fucking crush it as a wedding planner. I will tell you right now, I would demolish wedding planning. Fuck, I should moonlight as it. I would.
Okay.
What? Tell me.
Let's sway away from my wedding.
Yes.
Best recommendations for
honeymoon
first
allowed.
time heading to Napa.
Go to so here's the thing. You have to figure
Hobby.
out. Huh? Hobby.
Hobby.
Oh, first off, Hobby. Hobby's the greatest drive. If you go to Napa and don't use Hobby as your driver, it's literally, first off, the biggest mistake you ever make. Because a driver doesn't cost that much and literally makes your experience. Second best piece of advice, do not go to a winery that you could buy at Binny's, okay? Because the best part about Napa is walking in and speaking to like the owners. Now, not all the owners and those type of wineries are $200 a bottle, okay? There's a lot of like $30 to $60 bottles that are like that. Go do something that you can't buy at the store and learn about like how they were able to get the winery. It's awesome. It's the best part about Napa.
Okay.
How did your snow tires work out for you this year?
Unbelievable. I never got I felt like I was like back in my Audi A7. I was just like cruising through the streets.
Have you ever ripped suit pants in the field?
I mean, not recently. Not recently. I haven't.
No, you didn't answer the question.
I mean, I have. I have in the past.
How many times?
Like a bunch. I will tell you, I'm telling you right now, since I've been to Down George, I haven't ripped a suit yet. I'm convinced, and he even said that, like, there are some people out there that like have really like loose material in the butt region.
So you have to redo it.
So they get ripped. It's a great way to get customers to come back.
Or do you think it's because you started boxing? And why did you start boxing?
I just started boxing because I wanted to do a different workout. I will tell you though, like I feel like the 4 days a week I box, I'm less like angry throughout the day.
Do you picture like people's faces on the bag?
I pictured the negotiations in my head and I just like hit the bags if I'm talking to that person. Yes.
How are you liking your new place?
I think it's okay. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit small, but I mean, it'll work. I'm not home. I'm like never home. You know what the problem with the new place is? There's no room for wine storage. Huge miss.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Oh,
I
you had
keep
that whole
thinking
room before.
Yeah, and I keep thinking I have all this wine. We have wine like laying around.
Why don't
all
you
over
get
the
like
house.
a separate storage unit?
Because like I mean I'm not gonna we're gonna go, like go to
Yeah, that's
I'm busy enough. Then I'm gonna go like half mile away to pick up.
You
something.
can leave your wine here if one bottle disappears on
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah, these alcoholics in the office.
Why wouldn't you let your marketing team do a fun celebration for your 100th episode?
I don't really see the attraction to it. Like I mean they were very pumped up that we got to 100. To me, I'm like, well, of course we're gonna get to 100. We're gonna get to 200 because we're just keep doing these things until people hate us. Well, people already hate us, but like people hate us more. I mean, the reality is like I get it's a milestone because we've consistency, and this is the big thing is that like when people ask like why we're successful and other people's fail and why do we keep being successful, is like I refuse to allow us to fail because I'm very consistent with our stuff. That's why I get mad at people. That's why I got mad at our guy the other day. So I get mad continuing going forward is that like I expect the best out of people. When I don't get it, it makes me mad. And what I also expect is expect consistency. So when we hit 100 episodes, I'm like, yeah, no shit, we hit 100. Like we're gonna hit 200 because we're gonna keep doing it. So that's why.
It is interesting though, being in the field, how many people tell me they do listen to podcasts. I mean, it's probably
I've had friends tell me they listen to our
out of like
podcast
10
that are real
showings, like
estate.
3 or 4 agents, new agents, older agents. I mean, it's all over the board.
I feel like it's gotten better over when we pivoted away from like doing guests and just talk about relevant topics because we're trying to tell people what actually is happening without this whole BS PC stuff in there. We're just giving facts. That's it.
I also think it is fun to have like a guest every once in a while.
Yeah,
Like
I
when
mean-
Ben was on like a few
Yeah.
weeks ago, that was great.
We got a tax guy coming on next week, which I mean isn't like sexy, but people want to know about taxes.
Yeah.
I still don't. I mean, nobody gets taxes.
Yeah.
What we got?
What's your most popular lunch spot near the office?
my house where I make peanut butter and jellies.
The Galleria.
The Galleria Market.
You used to go to East Bank Club like also every day when you went to East Bank Club.
I know, but like my problem is like I like to be a healthy eater, and like I just never know what goes into stuff. I haven't been going to Galleria as much because of that either.
Whenever I get a turkey
Oil.
sandwich there, they're like, "This is for Matt?" And they're like, little mayo, just lettuce. I'm like, no, it's for somebody else.
Because I'm like screaming
me.
at them.
Regular amount of
yeah,
mayo.
she's like, no, give me the mayo. Because like I'm watching them put it on the mayo. I'm like, less mayo. They're like, this much mayo. I'm like, no, start over, less mayo. I'm getting old. I get fatter quicker. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Okay, what is the biggest mistake you've ever made in your career?
Oh man, so many of them. There's just, I mean, it's hard to like say where to start. I mean, we've made some bad hires in the past. We're gonna continue to do it. It's hard because you interview people and like everybody interviews really well, and like I'm a big chance guy too. Like a lot of times I'm like, I think we could build this person, and they turn out to be terrible. And like in your gut they're not good, but like it's more like a hope. So that's probably like one of the things where like I think some of the biggest mistakes, I'd probably say the biggest mistake is when I first got my license. I just assumed, like every agent, that this would be easy. And then I remember when I first got into it, like how hard it was and how depressed I was for like 4 years trying to get business. And I realized that like you just got to keep at it. And I think those first 4 to 5 years of my career molded the rest of where we're at today. And I almost think it's funny because like I think those 4 or 5 years now, like when like even our agents complain, they're like, oh, I showed them like 30 houses and then they rented, and like, oh, bleh. Like I still to this day almost feel like surprised when people buy. Like, oh, you bought? Okay, cool. Like because like I'm still like my first 4 to 5 years, like I felt like everybody I took out never bought, like ever. You know what I mean? So like when you have 4 or 5 years, we're not talking months, guys. We're talking years. Think about where you were 5 years ago, and then just imagine you made no money from then to there, but you worked like 18 hours a day. So like for me, it's like now whenever I do anything good happens, like a sale, like of course I expect it to happen. But like I'm not like mad when somebody's like, oh, I'm just gonna rent my place, or I just decided to rent. Like cool, it's a numbers game at this point. Like just gotta keep going. That's it.
Yeah.
Or they come back eventually.
Yeah, if you did a good job and people like you, they're gonna come back.
Would you recommend starting a podcast to other agents?
I mean, if you got stuff to talk about, I think if you have the right personality, to be honest, too. And I think if you got the money and time and energy to do it, and you're going to be consistent about it, then yes. But if you're not, then no. I mean, the problem is, like, I've listened to some other agents do some, and I'm like, these are pretty solid. This is good. And then they don't do them again, and that's it.
We were just talking last night about an agent's podcast in Arizona, and I think you did something with him.
Probably.
Jason Mitchell?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think you did.
Shout out, Jason.
It sounds familiar.
But like, I mean, here's the thing: is like you got to be consistent. I think the biggest problem is that I mean, let's face it. Like, realtors are good salespeople. Like, and a lot of realtors are charismatic. And if you have that type of energy and bandwidth and honestly monetary means to be able to do it, then do it. But like, don't do it and then like not do it anymore. Like, I think that even some agents, like, they'll produce some pretty good videos. Like, these are solid. You know, these are sick. Like, good for them. And then like, they're gone. You know, I'm like, well, I didn't get any business from it. I'm gonna tell you right now, like, I don't like, maybe we get like one sale a month from like podcasts and vlogs, like nothing like huge. You know, it definitely doesn't pay for itself, but it's just like a branding piece. It's just another thing to show like who you are.
Do you have your own marketing team in-house?
Yes. We have our own CMO, Alex Easley. Shout out, you're watching this. Caesar, who's also watching this. Shout out, Caesar. So Alex is our CMO. She does all of our digital marketing and kind of overall runs the marketing department. Caesar crushes it on designing everything that you see for Laricy. And then we work with a production team and a photographer and that type of stuff. So, I mean, I think we have pretty good. I mean, eventually we may have to add on more components to it. But, I mean, we invest a lot in marketing. I think that's a big problem that a lot of agents have. And people ask me all the time, like, well, like, can I just – and we did this. Remember with your buddy? Like, we outsourced a lot of stuff. And I think when we brought it in-house, it at least the main components. Made a huge difference. Yeah, way bigger because they belong to us. So,
and we work as a team, and we kind of know who to talk and who does what, and it's all back end stuff.
I think we're kind of wrapping up. What is the best thing about the Laricy team?
No, I think overall, people want to work here for the most part, minus Jamie. But overall, I think people, I mean, we all work really hard and we all get along really well. And I think that to me is the best part, is like we're like a family. And like that was the goal, is always kind of create it like that and keep it like that. My goal is to not get, and I think at this point of career, it'd be really easy just to like take on literally. I mean, we just walk down the street and be like, you're an agent, you want business, here you go. Like, let's go. And even the newest guy that came on, which we won't say yet, but his biggest problem when he was interviewing was like, well, I don't want to be part of like a team where I'm just a number, I don't know anybody. And it's like, well, that's not how we are. You know what I mean? So
the best question he asked on his interview was, are you going to retire at any time soon?
Yeah.
And we all started laughing.
And Matt's answer was, not retire. I'm going to die by 65. So you have some more time.
yeah, I'll probably die by 65. What was that, 30 years left? No, less. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, the reality is that like, our culture is, I think, our best part.
Okay. There's only a few questions left. Catherine, what's your favorite and least favorite thing about working at Laricy?
I mean, I actually agree. I think my favorite thing is just everybody that we work with. I think it's interesting because I worked here a long time.
How many years now?
Like 9.5.
Damn.
Yeah, very long time. But it's interesting because it's like gone from very small, and I feel like now it's like the first thing like it's like everybody really likes each other. There's no drama. I think
we have more
figured
girls
out
for the first time than guys too. It's kind of nice.
We're all friends,
Well, we just lost a girl and we got a guy. So
we also just gained
another
girls.
girl.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're gonna outnumber you guys soon.
Yeah.
I mean, girls are smarter than guys, so that's cool.
That is definitely true. Least favorite? I don't know. Maybe like
getting yelled at.
Still these last minute showings at like 8 p.m. that come in.
I mean, I could tell Catherine's least favorite thing in the world is that I hound Catherine's calendar for days off.
But nobody else is. So he talks about these days off. Nobody else, there can be like 3 days go by, everybody took a day off, doesn't check it on the board. Me, 1/2 a day to go to like a family communion, and it's
Which
like
happens
it's
like
up
every
there.
weekend.
It's up there like a week before I even go.
I mean, I hound Catherine's calendar.
It's so annoying.
What else?
It's not fair.
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, anything else? We kind of
I think
skipped
that's-
around at the end.
Yeah, I think that's really best advice for new agents who want to scale a team.
I think hire correctly. Get your key pieces in order first, meaning that like I would spend money and get a good assistant first, and then one other really good agent, and then go from there. I think too many people want to. I mean, this is the biggest problem like we talked about earlier. You get an agent, they did like 10 million that year, so now they need a team, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing 10 million, you're getting a team, you're a loser. Like, I'm sorry, but like 10 million is like not a lot of business. That's like a decent week. I mean, I didn't get a team till I did $40 million. Like, people just want to be able to say they have a team. So like, and then you get these guys, they did $10 million. It's their first year in the business. They don't know anything about the business, and they get 15 agents. And then like their leader doesn't know the business. So now I got 16 people I got to deal with, and nobody knows the business. So if you want to scale a team, do it the right way. You need to know the business. Make sure that you know the business inside and out. You know what closing costs are. You know everything else like that. Get an assistant, train them correctly so they know what they're doing, okay? And then get one agent that knows what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, this is your brand. Because if you get 15 people really quickly and then they're all idiots, guess what? Everybody's going to be thinking you, the head of the team, is also an idiot, okay? And that's my biggest problem when people scale teams. It drives me literally crazy when somebody's like, I'm on so-and-so's team. Like, well, that guy doesn't even... That guy was arguing with me yesterday about closing costs. Like, how closing costs... Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it drives me nuts. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just scale it right.
I think that making not to harp on the assistant part, but like people that have like agents be their assistant and do all the contract stuff is the worst, because I'm an assistant working with people on contracts and showings, and they're running around at the same time as trying to be in front of a computer and do something. Right. And that makes a huge difference when you can actually sit in front of a computer and do it the whole entire day.
Salespeople and admin people are two different wired people. Like, they're not the same type of people. Like, salespeople are super unorganized. And that's what drives me the most nuts about this business is you get a brand new agent who scales a team, and they got like 4 other brand new agents, and all of them are salespeople, and nobody's organized. So it's just terrible. So,
Jamie, what do you feel like sets the Laricy apart on the back end side of business?
Probably what I just said. It makes a big difference when you have an assistant that can sit in front of a computer and do the key opponents of what needs to be done and answer clients' emails and has stuff lined up and knows the checklist of what needs to get done for the listing process, for showings. If a buyer wants to add a last minute property on a place, if you know, a little question comes in and Matt's been running around back to back and I can answer that question.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. And I think people and for people out there that are looking to grow, is that like you have to learn to let go. Like some people like get mad.
That took you a long time.
It did, but I let go a lot now. But it's also about like kind of about being able to say like I'm okay with Jamie answering questions, or I'm okay with Jessica like answering questions with listings. Like I don't need to say like I did everything. Like, and I think when you're first growing, you kind of have this thing that you have to do it because like you think maybe your clients won't like you because of it, but ultimately clients are going to like you if they had a good experience. If they had a good experience, they ultimately know that you're the boss. So like otherwise, like who cares if I got the best assistants in the business? Like that's a good thing. That doesn't mean like you have a bad thing. I think a lot of agents, they don't want to have that recognition for it, and I think it's just dumb. And as we've grown, it's something I've also realized. All right, I think we got everything right.
Yeah.
100.
Woo!
Was there 100 questions? That felt like a lot of questions.
There was a lot of questions. All right, if everybody stuck with us to the end, thank you. And thanks for listening to Laricy Live.